My name is James Dapper. I'm sitting here with Adam Lee, singer, songwriter. You lead Sunday Drives. But before we get into that,
Okay.
What is your favorite television series of all time?
Of all time?
Yes.
Ever?
Ever.
I'm a series television buff.
Okay.
And the only correct answer for that, and I don't want to fist fight you because I love you and you are my brother, but the only correct answer for that is Game of Thrones.
Oh, you nerd. You nerd. I need to watch Game of Thrones. I haven't started it. I always hear it's great, though. I hear it's incredible.
It's life changer. I mean, it's better than great. I mean, it's the greatest offering of cinema. It's the greatest cinematic offering in the history of television.
Like even history of television. Gotcha,
In the history of television, it's
Gotcha.
the greatest cinematic offering. Like, I don't think there's even a really close second. There might be some good writing in other places and shit.
Okay.
But,
What about Sopranos? How do you feel about that?
you're gonna kick my ass, man. I'm not super hip.
You never watched it. But that's why you don't think it's the greatest.
Yeah.
What about Breaking Bad?
It's good. It's okay. It's
What?
good.
You like Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I like Breaking Bad. It's good. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Curious. It's interesting. All right. So you are the first guest I've ever had that I don't know, like I don't have like a super tight relationship with.
Yeah.
So I think it's really good for me to just kind of state some of my intentions. I've been trying to do that with people who I'm not the first time meeting you, but the first time we're having like a long, in-depth conversation.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on here is because I think you are hilarious. I
Thanks,
think you are very funny. And I don't want that to come off as me like thinking that you're a clown. Because I feel like oftentimes people who are funny, like we're like, is he laughing with me or at me? You know what I'm saying? Like that type of situation.
Yeah.
And whenever I make content, I don't want to be serious.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk religion. I don't want to talk. I want to have fun.
Same.
Like I just like if we're talking like
Same.
if I'm sounding too like what would be the word? Serious or self-serious, like man, just let's laugh, like let's joke, let's have a good time.
I think there's like time for all of that.
Yeah.
I think there's, rather than have like moments of lightheartedness and like comedic moments, like I would rather there be that kind of be the theme, and then there's moments of seriousness, or there's
Exactly.
moments. You know what I mean? But we're in serious times, so, everything is super serious. And I feel like it's a good break in the monotony to just be loose and just, play loose.
I love going to see comedy because it's nice to just like get out of like everyday life. Once you become a certain age, it's just like the monotony is over and over and over. And you're just like, dude, let me give something. So it's something just entertaining, enjoyable, not just like, oh, man, my life is hard. 45 minutes of that.
45 minutes of, you don't know about the cycle of my life.
Yes.
It's just like everyone else's.
Right.
I go to work, you come home.
Of course.
Everybody
knows that. Let's have some fun. So I was showing you something on the roads.
Yeah.
We were talking about songwriting. Prior to that song I wrote, Can
I just butt in real quick?
Go
and
ahead,
say that song was fucking incredible, man.
Thank you.
I love the tonality and like the timbre of your voice with the Rhodes. For people who don't know, like a Rhodes, it's like a really warm
electric piano.
Oh man, it has a sauce to it, man. It has a really unique personality in terms of instruments with keys. And your voice is just fucking perfect with that.
Thank you.
And I also just love the lyricism of that song. So.
Yes, that was the first, like, I had experienced something, and then that was the first time I ever wrote something, and I was able to capture that moment. I was like, this is what I wanted to do. And then ever since then, I felt like, oh yeah, like everything clicked for me. I've been trying to figure out my style. It is.
It's a cool feeling.
It is. I remember that, like, oh yeah, and then everything kind of just made more and more sense to me as I was going. Songwriters that I like and look up to. I'm a big Elliott Smith fan.
Okay.
Love Elliott Smith.
Of course.
Joni Mitchell. I think she's incredible.
Innovator.
Music Soul Child. I was very, very big fan
Another
of his.
innovator.
My favorite R&B artist. What are you know what? Before I ask you about the songwriters that inspire you, you mentioned specificity, and I I'm really happy that you mentioned that. When you listen to lyrics, what is something that captures you, maybe outside of specificity?
I mean, I like a little bit of fucking controversy. I like a little bit of taboo, a little bit of scumbag, a little bit of raw, and like to each their own. And everyone, we all kind of ingest music and art and everything down to fucking poetry and lyricism.
Right.
We all ingest it a way that's like indicative of our individual paths, of literally every fucking thing that you've experienced growing up, all of your, your source material, so to say, everything that made you who you are. is why you might like a certain thing or why something might resonate with you.
Controversy.
You know, I like a little bit of, you know, I'm a hip hop baby, so I like a little bit of cadence and flow and maybe a little bit of busyness to whatever you're saying, maybe a little wordiness.
Let's stay on controversy. So could you give me a lyric either that you wrote or that you could think of off the top of your head that you like would say is that controversial style that you are liking so much, or like that you were talking about?
I mean, I don't want to be the guy, but I can give you I can give you plenty of my own lyrics.
Give me the one that comes to mind first.
Imagine bombing in your area, assassinating characters where zombies in America get strung out on hysteria with therapeutic medication, open heart investigation, cemetery visitation, cost of doing business, ain't it? I'm talking about a drug epidemic, and it goes further in. And that's all wordy, right? It's all a little overly poetic, maybe to like, but I also have a song that's just like cut the wordy poetic shit, and I just say I just want the needle.
Yeah, that's pretty controversial.
It's pretty fucking straightforward.
Yeah, that is straightforward.
And the hook of the song, and I went in saying, you like, it's easier for me sometimes to find a million ways to say I love you but sometimes it's like the most impactful way to say I love you is just to say I love you, right?
Yeah.
So I'm finding all these ways to maybe talk about these unhealthy thoughts or, you know, maybe traumatic happenings or whatever, right? And I said, I'm just going to be so fucking overly forward. It might be a brain buster for someone else. Like, it might be a brain buster for someone who's like, I can't even register what that did. I just want the needle. My weapon is lethal. I'm talking about a syringe. I'm terrible about remembering my own lyrics. I should have brushed up on that shit. I just want the needle. My weapon is lethal. I don't need a reason. I just want the needle. That's so straightforward that it even makes me cringe. Like, I wouldn't write that again, but I did write that. That's in a song. But I also have songs where I talk about just losing faith in God. And I just say, I've been taking pleasure in the devil.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I have songs that are...
And would you say that the devil represents temptation?
I think the devil represents what it represents, which is just bad things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just all bad things.
Bad things.
As a whole.
Bad things.
Okay.
Yeah. More than just bad desire, but just bad actions. You know what I mean? Just bad everything.
Let's reel it back from lyrics. Tell me about the first time music like really hit you and made you like you realize like you were in love with music.
I mean, if I'm just keeping it, there's like a few moments that stand out to me where music made me feel something that was really fucking special, right? Okay. And some of those are like selfish moments, some of those are selfless moments. But if we're just talking about taking it all the way back, just want to take
it all the way back.
You know, my home life as just a very young, maybe 4 or 5 year old kid was not great. And I would sometimes get shipped off to like an aunt's house. Okay. I remember my aunt was the very first person who, in my house, my mom loved Motown and she loved, anything with piano, lots of Elton John, and my dad loved folky James Taylor and Neil Young. Michael Jackson, Jackson 5, shit like that had been pushed on me since I was fucking 2. And I knew that and I loved that, right? But the first time that I ever was like, just felt like a jolt of special, and it's one of my literal earliest memories, so it is kind of fucked up, is that my aunt, she let me sit in her, it was like a Camaro with like T-tops. Do you know what T-tops are?
No idea.
It's like it's a fucking some old shit on like an older car, so it's not the whole moonroof or the whole sunroof. It's like a part of it. So it's like the roof is there, some of it's there, and there's a glass piece on either side. And you can take the glass pieces out, and it's kind of like a convertible. And she let me sit in her badass car, and she put on a cassette tape in the car radio, and it was of a band called Guns N' Roses.
Okay. What song was it?
I don't know. She just let it play. You know what I mean? She just let it play. Use Your Illusions. Use Your Illusions, 1. You know, the red and yellow one. The red and yellow Use Your Illusions cassette tape. And I was like, I don't know. You can't... it sounds so fucking corny. But, like, for some of us, there's, like, even a really fucking early moment where you're like, I said this is what I'm gonna do forever. And, like... I did say that.
Yeah, it's okay.
I did say that. You know what I mean? And now I'm a lifer doing it, and I'm an absolute fucking blip on the map. I'm a complete nobody. But I have spent my life doing it. You know what I mean?
From the time you heard that cassette, it was a cassette, right? From the time you heard the cassette to the first time you picked up guitar, how long is this?
It's a couple years.
Couple years?
Yeah,
okay.
Just a couple years.
And what was the inspiration? Like, I'm actually going to do this. Like, what inspired you? Do you remember that?
Yeah, my dad, I think he just pushed it on us.
You're going to play this guitar?
It's weird because it's definitely not your standard. We're talking about a pretty messy, not your standard upbringing.
Okay.
But one thing my dad would do, I've never had a fucking lesson paid for me. I can't tell you what an E or an A chord is, or a B or a G, or and people think it's funny. I literally don't know that shit. Ask the people closest to me. I don't fucking, if you're like, yeah, play a G chord. But I think I know what the G shape is. I know what a G shape is, right? My dad would buy us instruments growing up. No fucking lessons. Mm-hmm. And he was kind of in and out of our lives. And he would just kind of like pop up and be like, look, I got you a fucking electric guitar. I got you an acoustic guitar. I got you an organ. I got you a microphone. Nothing to plug it into. He'd show up another time. Here's a fucking amp. I don't know what you're going to plug into it, but here's an amp. And I got a lot of gifts growing up of just my dad kind of various times coming in. And my mom was always, one thing that was, I will say this, one thing in my household, no matter broken home, yada, 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 one thing that was always encouraged in my household was free thinking and fucking alternative lifestyle and artisty, anything. Like, that shit was, I've been through every era, you know what I mean? I was the fucking kid painting my fingernails black, wearing fucking black gothic shit, you know what I'm saying? I did it all. And neither one, my mother or my father, never batted a fucking eye. Like, never batted a fucking eye.
They let you do what you wanted to do.
100, like, to a fucking fault, probably.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I only say all that, that's a little long-winded, but I only say all that to just say, when you're allowed to just be freely inspired by just whatever, that's kind of a different journey, and it can inspire thoughts that fucking early that you're like, I just love this, and this is me. You know what I mean?
And so you listen to Guns N' Roses. What other songwriters or musicians or bands were you listening to at the time you started writing your first song? Or first couple of songs?
My dad brought home a stack of CDs that had no case on them. It was just a big, grimy, nasty stack of CDs that he bought from the pawn shop for like $1. Okay? And it was like 50 fucking CDs. I mean, it was huge. It was a big stack. And he brought them home and gave them to me and said, there's going to be plenty of stuff in there that you're going to like. And just go through it. And it was like being given a record collection. And it was the first time I ever heard, what was in there? Bone Thugs, Creeping on the Come Up, Marilyn Manson, Smells Like Children, Too Short, which I definitely shouldn't have been listening to at fucking 9 years old, you know what I'm saying? Joni Mitchell, Heart, a band called Heart.
I've heard that band.
Ready to Die was, not Ready to Die, the first Biggie album was... Oh, it was Ready to Die.
It was Ready to Die.
Sorry. Yeah, it was Ready to Die. Ready to Die was in there. 9 Inch Nails, Pretty Hate Machine, changed my life.
Okay.
That's the one record of all the things I just named. That and Bone Thugs. There was 2 Bone Thugs in there. Bone Thugs East 1999 was in there, too. Those 2 records probably changed my life.
Bone Thugs and 9 Inch Nails. Can you remember, like, a lyric early on that inspired you? From maybe 9 Inch Nails or Bone Thugs?
The whole entirety, I know this is like a generic answer, but the whole entirety of Pretty Hate Machine by 9 Inch Nails, it's fucking dark, and it's lyrical, and it's dark, and something to remember is that it happened, right now, that album, I encourage anyone to go listen to it, because right now there are still people in 2025 pulling from that album. That album was made in 1988 in a library in Pittsburgh when synths were fucking as big as walls.
Right, the modular.
And he was literally making fucking analog sounds by pulling plugs out of shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of the most brilliant, genius albums, but he says shit like, ring finger, a promise carved in stone, deeper than the sea, ring finger, severed flesh and bone, offer it to me. There's some really, the whole album is, if you had to sum it all up, it's like a conversation about faith, about his loss of faith. And that he kind of directly blames God for some of life's shortcomings. And I think that's fucking gnarly, man. Like, and I'm a person who loves God. Like, I believe in God. Like, you know what I mean? I believe in God. I believe in a God. I believe in the God. Whatever your God is, I believe in that. I just like the discourse that's happening in the album. And even when I was young, I was like, this is fucking deep, dude. Like, this is deep. Like, this dude's bearing feelings that like a lot of people don't talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
it's like controversial.
And I fucking resonated with that. And there's still to this day influences that I take from that album and the way it made me feel. And the same with Bone Thugs. I fucking told people forever, I'm like, bro, I've been trying to like, I'm just a walking like rip off of fucking Bone Thugs and like Garth Brooks and like fucking, you know what I mean? There's like things that I just like can't even help but to like emulate. And even though it doesn't come off like I'm emulating it, it's just because I'm kind of a fucking strange quirk. I have a little bit of a quirky style, but like the cadence of what Bone Thugs does, the cadence of
that rhythmic
delivery and shit like that, like from my earliest time of like writing lyrics, you know, as like a third or a fourth grader, like I can remember, you know, wanting to write or trying to write in that rhythmic kind of way. So that always meant something to me, like, you know what I mean?
Do you have a song, or can you tell me a song where you wrote it and you were like, this is my style? Like when I was talking about the song, I was like, this is what I wanted to do. What was that song for you?
You've never heard it. No one ever has.
What's it called? You don't have a name for it? Is it Untitled?
Yeah, no, I have a bunch. I say this respectfully, there's not anything. God, this is gonna sound terrible. All right, yeah, we're getting into the real shit. There's nothing out. I have a lot of fucking songs. Sunday Drives has a lot of fucking songs.
Yeah.
There's only a couple that. This band has been around for a long fucking time. If you go see the band live, the majority of people who are singing along to songs, those aren't even released songs. So they're not so... and I say this, it's not that I have a disconnect with the material that we've released or the releases that have happened over the years, but I don't think they represent Sunday Drives to like... If you were like, yo, does this represent SD to the core? Like, no, I don't. You know what I mean? I don't think that there's a track out there that represents it to the core. I think...
Why is it you don't feel like you've been able to replicate it with the that's how I feel about this song. I haven't been able to you know, take the time, and like I want to spend a lot of money figuring out what this song can be. So I get that, I understand that. What,
I'm not ashamed to admit that I think I struggle. You know, it's not conveying, but maybe some of the ideas that I have during the writing process, and then the way that can come together in a band room and in a live setting. You know, I think that it presents some challenges in the studio that I think, you know, even for all the work we've done, I think that we could do a lot better. I think, you know, I don't think we've hit that mark. Yeah.
Okay.
That hurts a little bit. Can you ask nicer questions?
I wasn't trying to ask a mean question. My bad, bro.
No, I'm fucking with you, doggy.
Man, you guys say you got real silly. Like, oh shit.
Fuck you, James.
Oh,
put me on the spot like that.
No, I'm just trying
Make me feel insecure.
All right, okay.
No, the beginning of this is the shit we came for.
The beginning of Sunday Drives.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What year did you say I'm gonna go by Sunday Drives now? What year was that?
Oh God. I was in a hip hop crew.
Okay.
And I had to pick a name.
How many people?
15.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's small town Wu-Tang type shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Really. Raw Means, God Bless the Dead, K the Mart, middle name Lynn, B Pistol. I could just go naming, you know what I mean? I could just name off a bunch of motherfuckers, man. It's 2025 now, so this would be maybe 2000?
Okay.
I mean, just a kid. You know what I mean? Just a child. You know what I mean?
25 years ago.
You know, just a kid.
So Sunday Drives has been around for 25 years?
That name has. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And then the iteration that it is now, when did that happen?
Okay, so hold on. Now you're making me do math. 2000. No, for real. 2002.
2002. Okay.
No, 2001.
Okay.
That name, the first time that name was ever said was in 2001, and it was, man, I never told, nobody really knows this shit. A friend of mine, God Bless the Dead, used to make parody songs. This is bad. Are we going there? All right.
Hey, man, I can take out or keep it whatever you want me to. So,
he used to make parody songs about shooting heroin, right?
Okay.
When we were
that's
kids.
a way to make a parody song?
Kids shooting heroin.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's a thing. That's a hard, you know, that's taboo.
It's the controversial shit you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. He would make parody songs, which is just childish behavior, because we're kids. There was this song that said, Sunday, Sunny drives downtown. You know, it was just like a kind of corny, like, it's not a corny song. It's by a band called, it doesn't matter. It's some fucking generic chorus, and he took it on a Sunday when we were together. Mm-hmm. He was just known for always anything. He used to do it to Usher songs a lot. I don't know, him and Usher had a fucking thing. He made every Usher song a parody about fucking doing narcotics.
Oh, okay.
But you make me wanna be the one with, you know. But anyways, so he said, like, Sunday drives downtown, we were all about the dog. Dog is dog food, dog food is heroin.
Right.
So anyways, Sunday drives is the phrase that he used in that little parody. And then I took that phrase because I knew what it meant. It meant something to me. Then it ended up blossoming into other things and meaning kind of, to me, it means introspect. It means thinking about, it means taking just a brief moment out of the fucking madness to kind of think about who you are and what you are and where you're at. I took that little phrase, Sunday drives, and then I used it when I needed a name when we were pressing up fucking CDs out of a Tascam DPO2 or whatever in the fucking neighborhood. And we were all getting on these fucking, you know, fucking blank CDs that we were pressing up and just making beats on a Tascam and circulating them in the neighborhood and shit. And so that was my hip hop name, was Sunday Drive.
So it starts with 15 people, and in 2002 it becomes just you?
No, it started in 2002. It was like 15 people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then I went to prison and later, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I went to prison, you know, years later. I was in a thrash metal band in high school. I played acoustic guitar and sang. I was a songwriter. I would play all the like keg parties, all the fucking block parties. I would travel far and wide to just, you know, and I was pretty known in like the party circuit of just people who, you know, it's like during the fucking ecstasy craze and, you know, raves and rolls and all of that kind of shit.
Okay.
I went to the penitentiary closer towards like the 2010s, right? I went to the 2010s.
How many years?
I've been twice, and both times short timing. So I did 9 months in, 9 months for a dope case and went to a place called London, Ohio Correctional Institution. And then I came home and was on parole and immediately called another case because that's just what you do when you're fucking up. You know what I mean? I caught another case and had to go back upstate. And I went to a fucking crazy gladiator school called Noble, way out on the like West Virginia border. Crazy prison.
How many years?
9 months.
Okay, 9 months both times.
Yep.
Okay.
When I was in Noble, the last few years of my life had been so hectic that like if I had a guitar, it had been left somewhere at some fucking crack house, or I had pawned it, or I'd given it to someone, or just, you know, I'm not writing anything, I'm not doing anything, I'm just living a really hard lifestyle. When you're living like that, it's like the thief of your creativity, man. It's the thief of your artistry. To be strung out on narcotics. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna like try to like mince words. You know what I'm saying? It really is. It's like, I don't care if you're doing dope, if you're doing drugs and you think that your creativity is in the healthy place, I promise you it's not what you think it is. I know people are like, yeah, but this person made great music when they were on drugs. I know, I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. It would seem that way, I think. So I'd spent a couple years out of the mix, not even writing lyrics, not doing anything, right? Because I'm just living a locked-in lifestyle that is super fast, 100 miles an hour every day, tunnel vision, Twilight Zone, just fucking eat, sleep, breathe, shooting dope, breakfast, lunch, dinner. That's all you do. It's all consuming. There's not time for anything else.
How long is this time period?
Long time. Years.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I went to, and it's like sickening to say, and I've come to terms with it, but even when I came home from my first penitentiary bit, I went right back to shooting dope. And I look back on that and I'm so mad at that person, you know. It's taken a long time to even get it, like forgive, you know, and just like get over something that I can't change, but I just had to like make amends with and like figure out a way to like kind of heal that part of me that's like so discomforted by my behavior, or like not by my behavior, but just like by my fucking place in the world and who I was to myself and who I was to the people around me. So I come home from prison the first time, I get right back to the streets, and then I get locked up again. The second time, because I had caught a back-to-back case, the judge is like, we're upping your security because now you were just here. You were just incarcerated by the state. You were just fucking here. So they upped my security. They sent me to a medium security camp upstate called Noble Correctional Institution, way out on the West Virginia border, up on a fucking hill in the middle of nowhere in one of the most desolate counties in Ohio. Where I was at, the prison I was at before, people were fucking guards and smoking and shooting heroin and smoking crack. I mean, it was like the street. But because it was like that, everybody was happy. I mean, it was prison, but I'm saying people were just living their lives. I don't want to say everybody was happy. People were just living their fucking lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of hustling going on, a lot of shit going on. When I make it to Noble, I mean, everybody, it's just a different... I had already been to prison, and when I went to prison the second time, I literally, like, wrote my mom, like, I want to come home letter. Like, it was, like, the first time that I ever felt that way. Like, where I come from, like, jail and prison is not, it's like a rite of passage. It's nothing to be scared of, and I hate that I hate that it's that way, but it just is that way. It's not something that's, like, foreign. It should have been scary to me. Right. You know what I mean? It should have been fucking generational shit and just, like, some neighborhood shit. Like, it just wasn't. But when I get up there to this camp called Noble, I was fucking terrified. It was a real fucking gladiator school, and because it was...
What is a gladiator school?
Where you just fucking fight a lot, man. You just gotta learn. And if you're not a fighter, you will just become one, or you will become something else. You know what I'm saying? You take a bunch of dudes who are primarily from Cincinnati and Columbus and Cleveland, not Cleveland even really, just Cincinnati and Columbus and like Dayton, and you take a bunch of Cincinnati cats and Dayton cats and you put them 4 hours away from home, where there's no weed coming through. There's no, I'm being vulgar here, but there's no guard fucking, there's no weed smoking, there's no shooting dope, you're not getting no drugs in there. People aren't getting any visits. You're 4 hours away from home.
Right.
You're not getting it's just a different mentality, and people are just not fucking cooling, man. Like, nobody up there was like chilling. You know what I mean? Every day, fucking racial riot shit, fucking... Just a lot of fucking... I mean, it was in the air. It was thick. It was nasty. I mean, you just... Head on a swivel. And you had to literally just learn how to live with, like, butterflies in your stomach, dude.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
you just literally had to just, like, learn how to fuck... And that place gave me nerves of fucking steel, dog. You know, because I had to learn how to sleep. You know, I was there for fucking 2 days, and I watched a dude get hit with a lock in his sock. And he was up on a top rack, like 4 racks down from me. So I was able to, like, see the damage. And the guards came and, like, put a pillowcase kind of over his head and, like, carried him out. But I saw what happened to that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And then I had to sleep. You know what I mean? So it was just some really wild ass shit.
God.
Anyways,
damn.
man. So I'm in this Thunderdome. It's a 21 and under dorm. Just like on the streets or anywhere you go, like, that's where you're gonna get the wildest cats at. All of the young cats, like, were wild as fuck. And during this time, I was a little fucking wild, so, like, I wasn't completely out of place. Like, I just thought prison was something else. I had been to a prison where I was kind of, like, the wild one.
Right.
Not here. Like, this was fucking different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a lover, dog. Like, I will do what I have to fucking do. But this place is, you know what I mean? It was on 11 at all times. And I survived the 21 and under dorm for, like, longer than I should have had to, probably. And I end up in a dorm that's like a little bit more turned down. I was on a rowdy street, and some racial shit broke out, and they had to shut the whole street down. So then I got moved over to another street in the dorm, and I ended up next to this kid who, just quiet, meek, soft dude who was about to go to college, and his friend was going to the military, and they were spending their last night together. And they got drunk on, like, a hill, and they were out in front of their car, and the e-brake failed, and he ran over his friend, and he killed his friend.
Oh, my God.
Worst fucking story ever. And now he's doing fucking 8 years for involuntary manslaughter, and this dude's never... I've been in and out of jail my whole fucking life. This dude's never done a crime a day in his fucking life. He killed his best friend. He already has to live with that. And he fucking, you know what I mean? He ran over his best friend. Then he had to sit there with his best friend's fucking dead body. You know, just a terrible, terrible story. And this kid, had an acoustic guitar. And I made friends with him, and he would let me play his acoustic guitar. You know, every, like, couple days, like, our work schedules are different. So, like, and I was on, like, a softball team. So, like, you know, our schedules are, like, a little bit different. But when I would have time, I would go over there and be
Wait a minute, hold on.
Let me take a cruise on your acoustic.
Hold on. So you guys are kicking each other's ass all day and night, and then you guys go out and play softball?
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. He was in a band. He was in a band. You know, he was in a band. You know, there was a band room and shit, and he was in a band. So our schedules miss a lot, but he lets me he lets me take his guitar for a cruise, like, you know, every few days I get to go over there and get it for like 15 minutes. I was just starting to like write some shit, physically write lyric. You know, when you sober up, you start to feel different, man. Things come rushing back, man. Things come back to you. I always tell people that, oh, there's something so fucking beautiful and perfect for you on the other side of this, man. Please just fucking hang in there.
Can I ask you, what you were writing, was it vastly different from what you were writing prior? Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Not vastly different from what I'm writing now.
No, just prior.
Yeah.
So this is kind of more like that moment where you started to find your voice, your lyrical.
It's pretty introspective. Yeah. I wrote a song called Jail Time Credit that you can find somewhere. I wrote that from this situation that we're talking about right now. It has, you know, it says, to discard of my reputation would be a situation in need of a facelift. Grieving process. I wish I knew a lot less. This day's over, that day is closer. I think about what I stand for to keep my composure. You know, I feel the ground shake. You know, a long time ago. You know, so it's probably not super fucking cool.
Ouch, it was beautiful.
But I was just starting to, like, Stella was getting in her groove, and I was just starting to get into my writing shit, man. And and the dude got moved out of the dorm on some good behavior. They classed him to a new job, and he was gonna be, there was one dorm on the entire camp that was like, oh, that's the do-gooders, that's the fucking, you know what I mean, that's the, you know, that's the wealthy neighborhood, or the, you know what I mean, the good part of town, right? Are we good?
We're back.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be hard to edit, but we'll figure it out.
So, dude moved dorms on me.
Yes, dude moved dorms.
He moved to the good, you know, there's like one neighborhood in the entire camp, in the entire compound, that is like a decent place to be, where there's not constant violence, you know, and gang politics and just bad shit happening. And he ends up moving there, and I was very happy for him, but he's also the plug for the acoustic guitar, and it was like, I had become attached to like playing that, like that's like that little 15 minutes every few days. I looked forward to that so fucking much, just for those 15 minutes, to scurry back over to my, you know, my rack and fucking get my notebook out and play a few chords and write lyrics. He moved out, and he ended up in the newer part of town where he was now housed at. The next time I talked to him, he's like, my bunkie actually has an acoustic guitar too. He's like, so we got 2 guitars in the house. And I'm like, dude, that's so fucking rad, man. It took a little while for him to like warm up to it, and I never asked him. He offered this to me, but eventually he came to me and said, yo, we can start doing something if on like Thursdays at yard break, if you come out of place and come get my guitar, and you can take it back to your house, but the only thing is, if you get caught, you have to say you stole it, which is common. That's a common thing, you know what I mean? That's code of the West, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you get knocked with it, you have to say, oh, I stole it from him, I'm bad, you know what I mean? I committed a crime, and he has nothing to do with it. That way they give you your shit back.
Gotcha.
Because they would take his shit if they knew he was sending it out of place on purpose.
Why?
Right? It's contraband. Once it goes from a housing unit where it's like, you have a pink slip for everything. So like, if you have anything that's yours, you have like a title for it, and you can't just give it to someone else.
Wow.
You know what I mean? There's certain things, like you can't give a TV to someone else. You can't just give, you have to go through a whole step of policies to fucking even transfer something to someone.
Is it just some type of weird control thing, or is it? Okay.
Yeah. Also, tattoo, you know, all my tattoos are fucking prison tattoos are made, you know, the needle of a prison tattoo gun is made from the E string of an acoustic guitar.
I didn't know that.
So it's automatically seen as contraband. But anyways, even if it wasn't, you can't take contraband across the yard. And you also can't be out of place, what's called out of place. It's a whole shot, either way. Either one is a whole shot. So he's like, you take all the, you know, risk, and just, you know, tell him that you know what I mean, you strong-armed me for it or whatever if you get knocked. But he was letting me have his guitar, like, every Thursday for fucking, like, 2 hours. Which was way more than I was getting it when he was right down the road from me, in my... You know what I mean? Right down the street from me in the same housing unit. So now I'm getting the guitar for like, sometimes even more than once a week, but at least once a week I'm getting the guitar for 2 hours. And I best believe I would take all fucking 2. I mean, I wouldn't even be on the yard. I would be right up in my house, just, you know what I mean? Playing guitar and writing. I really like to think that like that's the birth of what Sunday Drives became to be. Like, Sunday Drive's the first time I ever used the name. What was me running around with some kids, you know, rapping on press-up CDs, you know, that were circulating around the neighborhood and shit. But, like, what Sunday Drives embodies and what I kind of identify it as, like, the feeling that I get from it, and what I think it embodies. I think it was born right there, really.
So you said you're in prison second time, 9 months. Mm-hmm. When you get out, are you still using? Are you done? Are you having that kind of like in between moment? Mm-hmm. Okay. And how long does it take for you to get clean?
Little while.
Okay.
Yeah, little while.
How long after did you meet your wife?
I've known my wife my whole life.
Okay.
I've been friends with my wife my whole life, and she's one of the only people who have like been a constant in my life. I don't think for a long time, you know, as little kids, obviously, I think she might have had a crush on me and shit, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying I don't think we were, she was just my friend, you know what I mean? She was my friend, and she was somebody who would always write me when I was in jail, or write me when I was locked up. The majority of the times I ever got out of prison, she came and got me, or the county, or just whatever, she was there, right?
And was there romance, or were you guys just friends?
I think we were just friends, man. I think...
After the second time, okay. So when do you guys like start dating after your second stint?
I think she just really knew that I was gonna die. You know what I mean? And there's like a difference in being like, well, I could have died, or like, I almost died. And there's a difference in that and someone who's like, sure, fucking fire, gonna die. You know, and like, if like. My friends would like look at me like bold face and be like, I'm gonna get a fucking RIP tattoo of you one day. So, and I think that she knew so strongly, she knew so well, she knew that you know what I mean, that I wasn't gonna be around for too much longer. And she really started to, our friendship started to change a little bit, because she started to become a real pain in my fucking ass. and an annoyance of someone who kind of tolerated like all the fast living, and honestly, even though, you know, at the time when you're all junked out, like you think you're like, well, I sell drugs and like my outfit looks good, and you think you're something. No, you're a fucking junkie. Knock it off. You're not fucking cool. You're not, you know what I'm saying? So she was one of the people who always saw through all the bullshit. You know what I mean? I was Mr. Popular in fucking surrounding 5 counties. She's like, I don't give a fuck. Just like right now, she doesn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? My wife is not oohed by any of that shit. You know, she's like yelling to the other room, like, that shit was out of tune.
She keeps you grounded.
It's like, that shit's not that good, actually. You could fucking write something better.
Man.
And she's right. But she was just fucking on me, man. And I was traveling a lot and taking narcotics from one place to another, and I just doing a whole lot of moving around. And she was so, I was as bad off of as I've ever been. This is, you know, after my second time of coming home, there was this little period that was just really bad, dangerous. The dope in the street was changing here in Dayton, or here in Cincinnati, and in Dayton, and in Columbus. Everything that was coming in from like the Philadelphia ports, and all the Jersey dope that was coming in, things were changing. Instead of heroin cut with fentanyl, it was starting to become more fentanyl.
Right.
Just fentanyl. And you were getting packs that you kind of didn't know, you know, and a lot of my friends were dying, and I definitely was at a place where I was ready to like try something different, and she was just the perfect storm of a person who was just like on me at a time where I didn't have anyone that was like, I believe in you, and saying like shit that like sounds cheesy or whatever, but like also that you fucking need to hear.
Right?
Yes, as a human, you know what I mean? And like, she was willing to like fucking put herself in harm's way. She literally just looked me right in my face and said, I just don't want you to die, and like, if you get sober and then you never want to be my friend again, I remember, I'll remember this forever. She said it to me a couple times. If you get sober and then you just live through whatever this part of your life is, and you just get out of this thing that you've been in for a long time, if you get past this, you can fucking hate me and we can never be anything. But I'll just be happy knowing that I did my part. Now looking back on like that, I'm like, that's my fucking girl, A1, day one for life. Because she showed me a type of love and empathy that, and just a type of blind just support and belief that that I just didn't have. Respectfully to everyone else that was in my life, and I mean everyone. I mean fucking everyone. I mean literally everyone. Several times she put up money to like, all right, today's the day. You're not gonna shoot dope today. You're gonna get dope sick, and we're gonna take you to the methadone clinic, and you're gonna get on some medicine, and then today's the day we're gonna start that cycle. And then I would not be able to. I wouldn't be able to get sick. I would have to stay well, so I would be staying well behind her back, and then I would go to the methadone clinic, and they'd be like, "Dude, you're not sick. You can't come here high."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Other times, I mean, bro, I put her through it. Like, she's drove me to, like, treatment places, and I was like, the line's too long. And one day, I just fucking, literally, just to keep my now wife off of my ass, I just said, I'm gonna fucking wait this line out, and I'll take whatever medication they give me, and I'll go through a fucking therapy class or whatever, and if I miraculously am okay, you know what I mean, I'll fucking show up here tomorrow, and I never had any intentions of doing that. And, as a person who had never tried to get sober ever, one time they medicated me with something that made me not get physically ill, and 24 hours passed. I went home, and the weirdest fucking thing happened, and I was like, I just spent the last 24 hours not in a fucking vehicle transporting narcotics back and forth to fucking areas so I can make my money, so I can be a drug addict and go to the hood and get this and then take it here and do this. And wow, the whole fucking day passed. And I had no pin cushion, no poking holes in myself. And I didn't feel good. I felt like shit. But not so bad that I was gonna fucking be a maniac and fucking run out and shoot dope. I was well enough to like survive to that second day. And just miraculously, I just said, you know what, fuck it. She was there 5:30 a.m. ready to go that second day. I was like, come on, get in the car, let's go. Day 2, let's fucking go. And I just, okay, fuck it. And I went for day 2. And then another fucking day went by, and I was like, yo, this is fucking crazy. Fuck it, dude. I'll fucking try for day 3. I mean, I'm not throwing up. You know what I mean? Like, my elbows lock, my knees hurt. I feel okay enough to like... Now it's called, there's a name for it. It's called embracing the suck, and that's not at all what I was trying to do at the time. Day 3 turns into day 4, day fucking 5. Like, my dope boy is calling me, who I have like a very strong relationship with because I see him fucking 2 or 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Christmas, birthdays, fucking 4th of July, Thanksgiving. I fucking know your kids' names. I know your fucking pets' names. You know what I'm saying? I'm a valuable lick. I bring a lot of fucking money. And my dope boy is calling me like, what? Where the fuck are you? Like, locked up? Like, just get out, whatever. I said, nah, man. The craziest thing is, I actually, I've been taking this maintenance medication for like the last few days. And, I was downplaying. I was like, I don't know what's gonna fucking happen. I'm just telling you, like, I'll probably see you. But like, for right now, I'm just, I'm roughing it out and just like trying to see what I can maybe shake. And he said some shit that I will never fucking forget. Unlike anyone else in my life that was encouraging me, all of my friends were like, that motherfucker's gonna fucking go down smoking. He's gonna fail. Like, and I say that respectfully, but like, they didn't need to believe in me. I gave them no reason to believe in me. But like, my drug dealer who calls basically to like kind of check up on me and also be like, where the fuck's my money? Like, why aren't you here bringing me... because I done bought this motherfucker 5 Cadillacs and fucking penthouse probably, you know what I mean? All the money I bring through. But oddly enough, I tell this motherfucker I'm half-assed trying to get sober, and he is the one person in my life who's like encouraging. And he's like, you know what, bro? He's like, he called me Chico, like that was like my name to like, you know, in that space. And he's like, no, Chico, go on and do you. Go on and try to do you, man. And maybe go on and get this monkey off your back, man. See how it shakes out. And he was encouraging to me. Mm-hmm. And that was fucked up. I gotta be honest, that did something for me. Another week goes by. Mm-hmm. I think I'm at like, probably like 2 weeks. And at this point, I'm fucking shocked myself. And I'm literally like, the days feel like they're fucking months long. Because I've spent years, I've just spent every day just moving 100 miles an hour, and it's just, you have so much of your focus is on staying well, and just breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and just, you know, drug addict culture, man, and just all of the things, right? And now I have all this free time, this open time, to like fucking be a human. It's strange, you know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, people are out here like working 9 to 5s. They're not even like doing like illegal shit for their money, and they're, anyways, it was like 2.5, 3 weeks. And I didn't know why, because I don't think I was gonna cop dope. I mean, I think I was probably still weak-minded, but it's just so much, it's so part of your everyday thing. And I don't know, I don't know what would have happened. I think to that moment, like, I really don't know what would have happened if he would have been like, come down here, I'll give you some free packs right fucking now. But I called my dope boy. He said, damn, man, you're still doing this shit? You still sober? And I said, yeah. And he said, smoking crack, shooting dope, nothing, you never like switch your DOC up, like basically like you get like a new drug of choice, like you replace one for the other. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, I've been going to like a methadone clinic, and it's been really working, I guess. And he's like, hey, look, man, I want to tell you something, man. And I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, yo, never fucking call me again. Lose my fucking number. Never fucking call me again, ever. Okay? And I was like, it's like my dude that I've known for a long time, years. And we're not friends. I mean, it's, you know, as much as you might think you're friends, you're not. But that was the most friendliest shit he ever said to me, and I could tell that he meant it. And it came from like a loving place. A person who sells drugs every day, and they don't give a fuck. They don't. They don't give a fuck about, oh, poor little fucking dope sick. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They don't give a shit about what happens to your fucking life. That's not the fucking game, okay? I've literally went up to dope boys and been like, your fucking packs killed my friend, and now I gotta fucking bury my friend. And I've literally had dope boys be like, I don't give a fuck. You want it though, right? That's what you're here for. But when he spoke to me that, like, I'll never forget that shit. I mean, I've told this story a few times, but like, he's like, yeah, man, let me talk to you about something for real though. Like, and I'm like listening, like, okay, what's up? And I don't know what I would have done if he would have said, I was weak enough to call him for no reason. You know what I mean? Just, I don't know why, you know what I mean? Just a lapse. And, you know, I'm probably like, probably 3 weeks sober at this time. And a lot is changing inside of me. Psychologically, physically, you know what I mean? I don't feel ill, like I'm starting to look a little bit different even in those few weeks. I'm definitely starting to regain parts of my personality. It all happens very fast. But yeah, he was like, I was like, okay, well, I'm listening. And he's like, hey man, lose my fucking number and never fucking call me again, ever. And I went to go say something. He was like, ever, Adam, Chico. He's like, ever, never call me again. And I think I even said something else, and he was like, just never call me again though, okay? And he literally said like, you understand though, right? And like, that was him being like, love you, bro. That was him being like, you know what I mean? That's the closest that relationship would ever get to that. But that was someone who, typically a fucking street drug dealer who is not, you know, they're void of that kind of humility. Uh-huh. And that kind of empathy. He was showing me something. He was showing me a sign of love and empathy. And even he was taking a little bit of pride in my struggle a little bit, and saying he was even proud a little bit just by saying those few words. And I, you know, if you ask me like, oh, well, how do you know all that? I just know all that. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how I know what he was saying, but I know I know how to read between the lines,
right.
and I know what he, and and him telling me that, even cutting me off to say, but never again though. Never call me again. That was his way of saying, like, go do this. Go be this. Go get sober. I'm wiping my hands of you. We've been in business for 7 fucking years. Don't ever call. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that for you. You're not that for me.
And ever since that day,
it's sealed. It sealed the deal for me, man. I was already, I was several weeks sober. I think
that's beautiful.
I also enjoyed shooting cocaine a lot, and that is. I don't know if this is even going to be able to air. I want to look you right. Hey, hold on. I'm going to look you right in the fucking eyes right here, real quick.
I'm going to end on this, and then we can chop it up and whatever. I might even make sure it's a little late. Claremont County. That's where you're from, right?
Claremont. Claremont, right, my friend.
My bad. Claremont County. Claremont County.
Look, James.
What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's just look, man. I'm just like a set repping ass motherfucker. Like, there's like, if I was from, if I was from, what I forget what this name. It doesn't matter.
Camp Washington.
Yeah. If I was from Camp Washington, I would be like, holding it down for fucking Hopple Street, Camp Washington, blah blah blah. But yeah, it means it's a bunch of tiny little towns, little rural towns, way out, like 30 minutes east of downtown. And it's just a bunch of, little hillbilly ass, and not all hillbilly ass. I mean, some of them are nicer, Nick lives in Anderson. That's a pretty nice neighborhood. But you've got your Batavia, your Eastgate, your Bethel, your Williamsburg.
Is Milford over there?
So Milford is considered east, but it's and I've grown up off and on in Milford. I went to high school in Milford for a little while. I lived in Milford. Or alternative school. I didn't go to high school. I went to alternative school in Milford. But anyways, not so much east side. I mean, I kind of liken east. Take 275 down and anything off of 32. Anything off of Route 32. All of those little towns that are all kind of just connected to each other, man. But yeah, it's all of like the shit that I don't like about it and all of the shit that I do like about it. And it's nothing glorious. It's just, I'm just a set rapper and I'm just like, yeah, I'm from the fucking Far East Side, man. And like, I've done a good job of like representing that, if no one else was going to, because, specifically just because there's, my favorite artists are from my neighborhood and there's probably some bias in there, but there's also some, you know what I mean? We got a lot of, you know what I mean? We got the goods, man. There's something in the water out there. And, you know what I mean? There's a lot of eclectic, stylistically interesting, just really cool artists that come from a very small, we're all from a very tiny little place, man. We're all neighbors, damn near. So for that many cats that I really love and think are, as great as I think they are, for everyone to be in such a tiny condensed area, I think that's cool. So, I did bring gifts. I did bring gifts, and I don't know if you know, my wife got me this. My wife got me this, I think at Kings Island. It came off, but it's just a bracelet. I made sure to wear my cat swag here. Yeah. It says I love cats.
We're both cat people, by the way.
We're both cat dads, by the way. That's the most important part of any of this shit. And then this right here is, my daughter got this, maybe like Temu or Amazon or some shit, but it's a Memoriam dog tag. It's a cat tag. And that's a picture. Let's go ahead and zoom in right there. That's a picture of my eldest cat son and his biological son, who was my youngest cat son, who's no longer with us.
Rest in peace.
God bless the dead, rest in paradise to Rocky, who was the gray cat, and then that's his father, Rico. And then I'm their father, you know what I mean? I'm the cat dad. But yeah, I wore that, and then my daughter even had it engraved. It says, something on the back like, gone but not forgotten or something. So thanks to my baby for getting me that for my daughter got me that for, I think, my birthday. My birthday's Christmas Eve, so. And then, I got a couple little things, real quick. I wanted to say that you quite inspire me, just watching how you manage your time. And I think that you work just ridiculously hard to have the nice things that you want in life. And being here in your studio and in your home, I think I've gotten to see that you have some really cool, nice things, and you're just a young, handsome, independent, interesting, just really cool dude. And on several occasions you've inspired me. One of them was just talking about the loss of your cat, son. I cried with you. I know we're not gonna get into it because I'm not gonna sit here and cry on your fucking podcast. So we'll stay away from that for now because I can already. I've seen you do like some healthy shit, so I was like, I'm gonna bring us each, and if we can just do this on camera.
Okay.
I brought us each an immunity shot.
Okay.
Have you ever had one?
Never.
Disgusting. Worst fucking thing.
Oh, shit.
I really, and I'm going to give you the worst one.
Shit, okay.
And then I'm skating. I'm leaving. What?
We're not doing it together?
Oh, no, we're doing it together.
Okay.
But I'm saying you're going to be, like, burping this shit for, like, the next 2 hours. You're going to fucking hate it.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Love you, friend. Yeah, so this is, I consume these on the regular, probably once a week. I get a good old Bede or Asuja immunity boost, and I'm going to give you the stronger one.
Okay, give it to me. I'm ready.
All right. It's cayenne, ginger, and turmeric.
All right.
And then I'm going to be doing... it's got all the same shit in it. It's just got guava and ginger.
All right.
I'm ready. You want to... Oh, did you shake it and everything?
I didn't shake
Give it a good shake. You want chaser? I brought you a drink.
Oh, okay.
Yep. All right. That's like my favorite sparkling drink.
Thank you.
I don't drink soda, but I do like some carbonation every now and then. All right, cool. Get your immunity shot nice and shook up. See all the black pepper in the bottom?
Yeah.
Whew. All right.
Do you normally one shot this, or do you kind of
one shot, baby?
Okay. One shot. All right.
All right. Cheers. Oh, God. Turn my stomach.
Count us down.
3, 2, 1.
Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
He's a fucking savage.
I thought it was going to be way worse.
Oh my God, he is a real life savage.
I thought it was going to be way worse. I drink. Yeah. This is nothing.
Do not believe it.
It is nothing.
I knew I fucking had a feeling you were going to do that. I had a feeling.
Oh, you hyped it up.
Bro, I'm not hyping it up.
Hyped it.
That shit, it's cayenne, black pepper, and turmeric. He's a fucking different type of savage.
Nah.
You're an animal for that.
Nah.
I've never seen anyone take one and not even, he's smiling. That's fucking, fucking weirdo behavior. He took that like it was nothing. They're fucking hideous. They're fucking terrible.
They're
I
not
promise
that
you that.
bad. They're not. He's hyping it. It's not that bad.
Especially the one he took. Awful.
I'll drink it again.
Awful.
I'll drink it again.
Ooh. But I do want to say this.
Yes, sir.
I brought that because that's a product that I stand by. Not a sponsor. But I do believe in a good immunity shot once a week, man. And then I also brought just shameless plug, I guess, but I brought some Sunday Drives merch.
Show it to the camera.
And I don't know what size you are. Oh, see those bird, like that's you're a bad man. Bad man, James. Took that. That didn't work out in my favor because I thought he was going to take that and have a terrible reaction. He took it, and then while I'm having a bad reaction, he smiles at me and tells me that I'm like a chump, basically. Like he's like.
Where can they get this merch from?
I sell it out the trunk of my car.
Adam Lee on Facebook, everybody. Adam Lee on Facebook. Sunday Drive this Sunday.
It's SUNDAE drives on wherever, man, Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and wherever. So Spotify, Apple Music, wherever. But this is a tri-blend. I'm a bit of a fabric snob, so that's a tri-blend. It's got a bunch of colors in it, and the type of print is like rather than sitting on the shirt like a lot of screen prints do, it's actually in the fabric. It's actually in the shirt. So that's a pretty cool shirt. Looks like your grandma's sofa. Ugly on purpose, you know what I mean? Not a lot of people will wear this shirt. You gotta have some sauce to wear that.
I'm aware. I got you.
And then, you know, most of our designs are all floral. That's kind of, you know, that's our band signature. I don't know what this is. It's like a wreath.
Does floral mean anything to you?
I just like it. I mean, I got flowers.
Gotcha.
You know, vines. I like flowers and vines and shit like that. So no, I don't. Nothing too crazy. You know what I'm saying? I think funeral flowers, wedding flowers, you know, flowers are like a celebratory. You know, you get them when. Yeah, you get them on occasions. So there's like the wreath joint. And then the last time me and Nick were touring, we it's funny, like we I think we were in like Detroit or Nashville or something, and some of the hipster kids were like not fucking with our like thin, really nice fabric. Like because like the new thing is kind of like the 90s thing where it's like they were starting to, everyone's wearing like the thick, black, boxy, fucking all cotton t-shirt. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So like we started noticing that like some of the, like I think there was like a bunch of fucking kids in Nashville that were like, it's too soft. Or like they wanted like, they're like, you got anything 100% cotton, like big, black fucking, and I'm like, I hate shit like that. Like I hate, and I say that and I'm wearing a big fucking Carhartt shirt. But anyways, thick, black, boxy, just fucking straight to the point. Plain Jane, you know, so yeah, I have, I don't know what size you wear, but I'm gonna, you know, whatever size.
Large.
Large, I got larges, man. Let me, that's for you.
Thank you very much.
And then I think this is for you as well.
Is that the, grandma one?
Yeah, this is the grandma one, that's a large. Yep, and there you go, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, brother. It's been a pleasure, and we'll have to do this again.